Time for our visit with Dr. K, Dr. Kevin Cavanaugh. He's a retired physician and founder of Health Watch USA. Good morning to you, Dr. K.
Good morning, Jack.
I know you've heard this story, but I will repeat it for those who haven't. Senator Rand Paul refusing to get the COVID-19 vaccine because he says he has natural immunity. Over the weekend, he was being interviewed by a radio station in New York, and he explained that he will not be getting the vaccine because he has contracted COVID-19 in 2020, and this is the quote, "Until they show me evidence that people who have already had the infection are dying in large numbers or being hospitalized or getting very sick, I just made my own personal decision that I'm not getting vaccinated because I've already had the disease and I have natural immunity." Now, what's your reaction to that?
Well, I think it's problematic and, in my opinion, Jack, not really clear thinking. He had the disease about a year ago, from my recollection, and probably from the original Wuhan variant. It's also a disease that was asymptomatic, and I think he's a setup for reinfection. These have been documented, especially with the variants of this virus. So I would expect, unless he's been repeatedly reinfected, which may happen because he's been flying around the country and attending group events, he's a setup for getting this disease again and developing long COVID. And so, yes, I'm really kind of disturbed on that. In an AP article, he was stating that, well, it's a free country and other people should honor what individuals' decisions are regarding their health, and people shouldn't tell me I can't eat a cheeseburger for lunch, that I have to eat carrots to cut my calories. So to me, that's not real clear thinking, because this is a much larger situation than just individual health. It has to deal with the health of our community. And in my opinion, when Senator Paul tends to mitigate the seriousness of this disease, it affects the health of others, not just himself. And it really does play into the hands of our adversaries and weakens our nation. In my opinion, Dr. Paul rightly drew attention to the possibility of an enhanced virus escaping from the Wuhan lab. But at the same time, he seemed to be mitigating the seriousness of this illness. And what we have to do as a nation is to stop this virus. And what's taking place by Dr. Paul's statements is sort of a reverse or self-inflicted biological warfare. So to me, I think this is very unwise, because he serves as a leader and an example for others. When I talk to my colleagues, they're telling me the only people they're seeing in Kentucky that are in the hospital are those which aren't vaccinated. These vaccines work. We are hearing about people getting COVID from not being vaccinated, not directly, but it's, not preventing you from getting it if you don't get vaccinated. And we hear very little about any sort of vaccine side effects other than a few days of aches and pains and some minor fever, which occur in a minority of people that are getting these vaccines. So we really do need to go on ahead and get vaccinated. They work.
All right, tell us about what's going on in Kentucky, the latest information as of yesterday. It looks like our positivity rate is going down. It's 2.64, I believe.
Yes, and it's going down slowly. I should point out that in the rest of the nation, it's tending to plummet. And one of the reasons why, and the only reason why it's going down slowly and our cases per day are just going down slowly, is simply because we're not getting vaccinated fast enough. There's no other reason. It's not that the virus is more deadly. No, it's we're more thick to the point where we're not getting vaccinated. And we really need to reverse that process. This is all within our hands. We should be out of this by now. As you know, there's also very good news out of England that initial reports, and I have to phrase initial reports, they are not seeing very many people being hospitalized with these variants, and that includes the Indian variant, if they're vaccinated. This is primarily affecting unvaccinated individuals. And as I said before, with these immune escape variants, do not count on a prior infection giving you protection, because the immunity that you get from the vaccine is much greater than the immunity you get from a natural infection.
Dr. Kevin Cavanaugh, always a pleasure, sir. Have a great week, and we'll talk to you on Friday.
Thank you, Jack.